Hey guys, Michael Kummer here. In today's video I want to introduce you to my 4 favorite red light therapy devices that I've used to treat back pain, joint pain, improve muscle recovery, recovery after an injury, increase the collagen production and appearance of my skin, and much more. I should point out before we get started that I have reviews of most of the devices mentioned in this video, either on my blog or on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna link them down below, so check that out. I also want to mention that I'm not a medical doctor, so nothing in this video should be considered medical advice. And in the description of the video, you might see affiliated links that if you use them, I might get a commission. Doesn't change the editorial integrity, but it helps me make this channel happen. Speaking of supporting this channel, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. That's another great way to support me and help me produce more videos like this. So let's get started and let's talk first about the mechanisms of action behind red light therapy real quick, so you better understand why red light therapy works and how it works, and it would also help you better decide what product or device might be best for your particular use case. Now, generally speaking, red light and infrared light carry a certain energy. So depending on the wavelength of the light, be it visible or invisible, there is a certain amount of energy being carried by that wavelength. And when that energy or that wave hits your tissue, your cells, stuff happens. Your cells react to that, again, depending on the amount of energy and the type of light and the wavelength. But in a nutshell, what happens is that blood flow increases in the affected area, in the treated area. Your mitochondria, those are the little power plants in your cells, react by producing more energy, which is generally a good thing. Collagen production increases, but red light and infrared light is also a mild or induce a mild oxidative stress. So it's a little bit of a stressor, much like sauna bathing or cold plunging or being exposed to sunlight. All of those are stressors that can help make your body and your cells more resilient. And that's also a good thing. So a mild stress is good. Chronic long-term stress, not so much. Red light and infrared light can also block the pain signal, so you feel less pain when you treat it, and a number of other things. But those, in a nutshell, are the mechanisms of action behind red light therapy, which very often also includes infrared, and specifically near infrared light. Now, with that out of the way, let's get to the 4 devices that we've been using at the Kummer household to treat pain, injuries, speed up recovery, and to change the appearance of our skin. Number 1 in the list is the Kinion Move Plus. It's a device that was originally developed to treat knee pain, and in the past it was actually called Knee Plus because that was the main purpose of it, to help you with knee pain, be it due to overuse, be it due to osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, whatever, or an ACL tear maybe, and sports injury, any of that. Knee Plus, or now called Move Plus, can help by not only increasing the blood flow in the affected area, by regrowing cartilage tissue, but by also blocking the pain signal, so you feel more comfortable after using the device. And one of the main benefits of Move Plus is that it uses both LEDs and lasers to deliver a specific light dosage to the affected area. And that's important because only with the correct dosage will you get the benefits you desire. And the more complex the issue is you're trying to treat, the more important dosing becomes. And so Kinion has put clinical grade lasers into their Move Plus device that deliver a specific light frequency or frequencies at a specific dosage to deliver its benefits. And the other thing I really like about the Move Plus is that it's very much a passive device. So you can put it on, or I can put it onto my knee, I can watch TV or continue working or walk around, do whatever I need to do without being negatively impacted by the treatment. So I don't need to do anything to do my treatment, and that makes it much more likely for me to continue the treatment over the course of days or even weeks, depending on the issue that you're dealing with. So I've used Move Plus to treat a shoulder injury, to treat a knee injury, and for various other parts of my body that got beaten up during CrossFit exercises typically. And it works. It's been scientifically proven to work. I've noticed it works within a couple of days. You feel immediate improvement and pain reduction almost immediately. And it's a great device that I can highly recommend. Now, one thing that's maybe a slight disadvantage of Move Plus is that its treatment area is basically limited by the 3 light modules that you have and by the straps you can use to attach them, especially if you want to use Move Plus in a passive fashion that I've mentioned, where you just put it on and you go about your day. Treatments are very short, 5 to maybe 15 minutes on the long end, but you're somewhat limited to where you can use the device. Now, I should mention, as of this recording, Kinion has released, but I haven't received them yet, more different strap options, so you can use the device maybe on your back or at larger areas of your body that are not conducive for those smaller straps that are very good for knees. I haven't received those straps yet, but I've seen and heard that they work very well, and I'm looking forward to trying them out to see how they would work for an issue in the middle of your back or upper back or lower back, etc. But that's maybe a minor downside, that you might be somewhat limited to the area you can treat at a certain time. Pricing wise, Kinion Move Plus sells for somewhere between $450 to $500, depends on what type of sale they have going on. I have a discount link and code in the description, so check that out if you're interested. And I also have a dedicated video review and blog review that I'm going to link down below as well, if you want to find out more about the science and mechanisms of how Kinion Move Plus work. Number 2 in the list is the Solio Alpha Plus. It's a device that uses 3 types of light sources, including red light, infrared light, and radio frequency. And in particular, the radio frequency allows the device to deeply penetrate especially soft tissue. The Solio Alpha Plus is a device that has to be used actively. So that's maybe a minor downside, because you have to literally rub the affected area. But on the plus side, you can cover a greater area. And that's particularly important because sometimes the area where it hurts might not be where the pain is originating from. So it's good that you can cover a larger area, but you have to do it actively. You have to actually have to use a gliding gel, so it glides on your skin. You cannot just put it there and let it sit there, because it gets fairly hot, uncomfortably hot if you don't move it. So you have to constantly move Solio Alpha Plus, but you can also cover a greater area. Now, of course, if you have back pain or shoulder pain, you might need the help of someone else to treat that area, because you can't do it by yourself. That's a disadvantage of Solio Alpha Plus, but we've used it, or I've used it for back pain. My wife has used it as well, or we have basically treated each other with specific back pains where we could cover a large area and you feel almost immediate pain relief. It gets fairly warm, so it increases blood flow and it reaches deep into your soft tissue thanks to the radio frequency. And it's an excellent device that definitely works and that we have used successfully for various areas of our body that we banged up during workouts. Now, pricing wise, Solio Alpha Plus sells for about $500 as well, but same as with the Kinion Move Plus, I have a discount code and link down in the description, so check that out if you're interested. And I also have a dedicated review of the Solio Alpha Plus on my blog, so check that out as well for more information of exactly how it works. Number 3 is the Mido Red Light, and that's really the name of the company because they offer a variety of red light therapy panels and a red light therapy belt. And so we have the belt and we have one of the larger panels, the Mido Pro 1500 is what it's called, and I have a dedicated review for that on my blog, so check that out. But in a nutshell, what I like about red light therapy panels is that they can cover a very large area, depending on the size of panel that you get or how many panels you get. But I use it every morning next to my computer, next to my desk. When I start working on my blog, I turn it on, I take off my shirt, and I just get exposed to that red light for 15 to 20 minutes almost every day. The thing with red light panels is they are very good at treating either skin issues or to help you recover or reduce pain in muscular tissue that's fairly close to the skin. So I wouldn't necessarily use a red light therapy panel to treat joint pain because I don't think that the wavelengths reach the issue deep in your joint capsule. And that's also because, you know, keeping the right distance to a red light therapy panel can be somewhat challenging depending on how it's mounted. But I use it specifically to make my skin more resilient, and that's important because I don't wear sunscreen for various reasons, including that most sunscreens have toxins that are harmful to my health, and I don't like that. And I can take about an hour or two in Georgia summer here without getting burned, but anything longer, you know, I start burning. And so by using red light therapy panels, I can make my skin more resilient and make it less likely to burn if I'm in the sun for extended periods. I also like that it improves or increases collagen production in my skin, reduces wrinkles and fine lines, maybe not so important on my arms, but I also use it for my face. So I use goggles and I sit in front of the red light therapy panels, typically in the evening. And that's a great thing to just compensate for the lack of red light that I might be getting, especially during the colder months of the year where it's more cloudy and where I'm less exposed to sunlight. So I compensate with that by using red light therapy panels. And it's also great for muscle recovery, especially on my back. You know, when I did deadlifts or whatever, I sit in front of that panel for 20 minutes and it increases blood flow, makes me feel better and reduces pain. So we use that as well. Highly recommended. Great product from Mito Red Light. We also have the belt, and the advantage of the belt is that you can get the dosing right because the belt sits or is directly on your skin, so you cannot vary or mess up the distance between the light source and the area you want to treat. And I use that especially on my back also, if I'm injured on my back, to recover quicker, to get the heat and the oxygen and the blood into my tissue here on the back, and it's a great device. The other component of the red light therapy belt, and that's the main reason why we got it, is because my wife wants to use it or has been using it to reduce some of those stubborn fats. And the reason why that works is because red light makes your adipose tissue, your fat tissue, release triglycerides, so basically fatty components. And if you do that before a workout, then you encourage your body to use those triglycerides for energy instead of having them redeposited into your fat tissue, and that can help you lose fat, especially in areas that are not easy to shed, around your midsection maybe. So that was Mito Red Light. Pricing wise, it really depends on, you know, the size of panel. I think they start roughly around $250 or so, go up to maybe $2,000 or even more depending on the number of panels you get, the panel size, the type of panel, etc. We have the Mito Pro 1500, which I really like. I think that sells north over $1,000 if I'm not mistaken, but I also have a discount code and link down in the description, so check that out, and also my dedicated review on my blog. Number 4 is an entirely different device from the ones I've mentioned so far. It's called Solar Wave, and it's like a little wand that you can use to improve the appearance of your skin. So it's a beauty product, and you might think, well, why do you have that, Michael? Well, first of all, I'm also concerned about the appearance of my skin, but no, we actually got it for my wife, and she's been using it consistently for a couple of weeks, and you can see a very clear difference in appearance of her skin. Now, one thing I want to point out is that skin health is mostly driven by what you eat, so it comes from the inside and not necessarily what you put on or what you do to your skin, you know, superficially. But if you're already doing everything right and you still want to improve your skin appearance further, reducing maybe wrinkles or fine lines or little blemishes that you might have, Solar Wave is an excellent product. It actually uses red light, and I think it uses blue light as well, a combination thereof. And you just treat your skin for a couple of minutes every evening, maybe before going to bed or in the morning, whenever you want to. And after just 2 weeks, you will see a significant improvement in your skin. It's unbelievable. We did a before and after picture of my wife after she had used it for about 2 weeks, and it's like night and day. It's a dramatic improvement. It's a pure cosmetic product, so you cannot use it to treat joint pain or to, you know, improve muscle recovery or anything. But just from a cosmetic perspective, it's a great red light therapy device, and I thought I'm going to mention it because it falls into the red light therapy category as well. Now with that, we're gonna wrap it up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments what I could have done better, and make sure you check out all the resources that I'm gonna link down below in the description. Until next time.